Hopefully by now you've learned that there will be a supermoon up in the sky tonight. But I have to ask, do you know what a supermoon is? Hopefully you at least know that a supermoon happens when the moon is simultaneously full while also being at its closest position to Earth. So let's talk about the moon's orbit and how supermoons are made possible. The moon takes approximately 27 days to orbit the Earth, well, 27.322 to be exact, which is also known as a sidereal month. When you imagine the moon orbiting the Earth, you might imagine the Earth in the very center. But how would the moon ever be at its closest position to Earth if the Earth were in the center? The moon's orbit is elliptical, not circular. So imagine the moon traveling on an ovular path with the Earth closer to one side. When the moon is at its closest point to the Earth during its orbit, it's in perigee. And when it's at its furthest point from the Earth, it's in apogee. But this orbital path isn't stagnant. Neither is the Earth's. It moves similarly to a hula hoop. Pretend the hula hoop is shaped like an oval, not a circle. Imagine your stomach, the stomach inside your body where your food gets digested, is the Earth. And the hula hoop is the moon's orbital path. One twirl of the hula hoop, one rotation around the waist, is 8.85 years. That's how long it takes for the moon's orbit to complete one rotation. When a celestial body's path rotates, this is called an apsidal precession. Thanks, Isaac Newton. The other thing to consider is that the moon's orbital plane isn't in line with the Earth's rotation axis, so the moon is usually above or below the Earth in such a way that the Earth never blocks the sun from the moon, except for when the moon's orbital path is in the perfect position to create an eclipse. You know how a full moon works, right? A full moon happens when the Earth is in between the sun and the moon, and we see the face of the moon while it is being fully lit by the sun. And a new moon happens whenever the moon is in between the sun and the Earth, and we see the face of the moon while it is dark and the sun is lighting the backside, which we never see. It might be helpful to know that the moon's orbit has so many irregularities that it's been cause of study for a long time. Lunar theory has a very long history. It's complicated. All you really need to know is that both a full moon and a new moon occur when the sun, Earth, and moon are in alignment, or sun, moon, and Earth. This is called being in syzygy. And I don't mean alignment in the way that everything is on the same orbital plane, creating an eclipse, although that is a syzygy. All eclipses are in syzygy, but not all syzygy situations cause an eclipse. So like I said before, when the moon is closest to Earth, it's in perigee. When it's furthest from Earth, it's in apogee. When the moon is in perigee syzygy, it appears 14% larger and shines 30% brighter than when it's in apogee syzygy. So, the technical name for a supermoon is perigee syzygy because it occurs when the moon is full while it's also at its closest point to Earth. In fact, the term supermoon isn't astronomical at all. It was created by an astrologer named Richard Knoll in 1979. Astrology is the study of the movements and relative positions of celestial bodies interpreted as having an influence over human affairs and the natural world, as used in the making of horoscopes and such. But astronomers and anyone else in the astronomical community use the term perigee syzygy or perigee full moon. You may have also heard that this is the closest the moon has been to the Earth in 69 years. But the supermoon of 1948 was still just a tiny bit closer than the one we'll see tonight. On January 26, 1948, the moon was 221,495 miles away from the Earth. Tonight, the moon will be 221,524 miles away from the Earth. Other super cool supermoons to check out, aside from the one that you'll see tonight, are a supermoon during a solar eclipse or a total lunar eclipse, which If you missed it last year, the next supermoon lunar eclipse is going to happen in 2033. In some parts of the world, there was a supermoon solar eclipse earlier this year in March. The next time we'll get a supermoon anywhere near as large and bright as the one you'll see tonight will be November 25th, 2034. Mark your calendars. That one will not only be closer than the one that we see tonight, but it will also be closer than the one we had in 1948. Assuming that you'll still use your Google Calendar in 2034, you might want to go ahead and set an alarm with bells and whistles so that you can see that one. Until next time, make the most of your time here on Spaceship Earth. Be excellent to each other, make your dreams happen, things like that. I'm Spacegirl Sally. I've got to go for now, but I'll be back sometime in the future. P.S. The best time to view the supermoon is Monday, November 14th at 1352 Universal Time Coordinated. If you live in the United States, especially the eastern half, this means you won't see the exact moment of the supermoon, but you'll still be able to see a display that is bigger and brighter than most of you have seen in your lifetime. The exact moment will take place at 8:52 a.m. Eastern Standard Time Monday morning, which is 5:52 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and 3:52 a.m. in Hawaii. Take a look at this time zone map to see if you'll be one of the lucky humans on planet Earth to see this phenomenal perigesis. However, the deputy scientist for NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter mission, Noah Petro, says, "I've been telling people to go out at night on either Sunday or Monday night to see the supermoon. The difference in distance from one night to the next will be very subtle, so if it's cloudy on Sunday, go out on Monday. Anytime after sunset should be fine. Since the moon is full, it'll rise at nearly the same time as sunset. So I'd suggest that you head outside after sunset, or once it's dark and the moon is a bit bigger in the sky. You don't have to stay up all night to see it unless you really want to. So have no fear. You should be able to see the biggest, brightest full moon of your life until 2034, that is, tonight and tomorrow night." Oh, it's a